Today we got another video for the CB Tape Lab channel. Today we have Jermod McCoy. Without a doubt, one of my favorite, I think he is my favorite corner out of the 2025 draft class. He was my favorite corner for the 2024 season. And I know he didn't play the 2025 season, but if you guys really spend some time and go over his tape, he is just an absolute lockdown, one side of the field type of corner. 6'1", 193. I don't want to glaze too much, but I would say his hip fluidity is probably the best in the entire country. The way he's able to kick or shuffle one way and not cross over his feet and then turn his hips back to guard the route, you know, it's really something special. But with that, let's get into this first clip. I'll play it all the way through. Got some slow-mo for y'all today. But this clip is from that Vanderbilt game when he had that insane interception. That's what I wanted to start it off with. Ridiculous. But with that, let's get straight into this one. So boom, for starters, let me slowly do it. For starters, he's going to open the gate a little bit too much, right? We always want to stay square because if you do open the gate, you know, we don't know who this receiver is, but if you open a gate against just for example, a Brandon Thompson from Mississippi State, he was one of the fastest receivers this past year, but say Tyreek Hill. We'll just go Tyreek Hill. Say you open the gate like this against Tyreek Hill. He could use that and turn it into a track race against you and beat you in a 30-yard race, right? But boom, so he opens the gate a little bit. But what I really like is he gets a kick in. You guys see that? Boom, kicks, doesn't allow his feet to cross over, right? Boom, gets a kick in. And at this point in this position, a lot of DBs are probably going to run in a straight line right here, right? But he's going to run at an angle, meet him at the spot, right? And right here, what this does, so his gate is completely open, right? The black line is right here. This is where the line of scrimmage was. He is completely open. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get cooked. But what he does, because he got a good kick, right? This is only because he got a good kick in. He's going to run at an angle, right? And he's not going to worry about getting hands on the receiver as well. A lot of DBs in this position are going to either run in this straight line right here at the top of the numbers and run in a track race, or they're going to lose their position on the upfield shoulder with how he is right now, and are going to try and get a hand or two right here. But what he does, he's going to run at an angle. This is going to widen the wide receiver, close the space, and allow you to get hands on later down here about the 20-yard line, right? Boom. Still hasn't got a hand on. You guys see what I'm saying? But receivers start on top of the numbers-ish and is now at the bottom of the numbers, right? And all of this, y'all, he still opened the gate, right? He is opening the gate, but he's able to get a good kick in and he takes the correct angle, right? So I guess what I sort of want to start doing is do like sort of a pros cons list for these reps. So in this rep, the con is opening the gate right there at the start. He opens it, and right here he's fully open. But he does get a good kick in, that's one of his pros, and he takes the proper angle to cut the wide receiver off, right? Boom, boom. Play it all the way through. Yeah, so whenever you're impressed, man, though, always try to remember to try not to open the gate on the snap like that, right? Try to stay square for as long as possible, but good job getting a kick in and taking the correct angle to cut him off. All right, y'all. So in this clip, this is from the same Vanderbilt game. Low-key, I'm going to make this video only Vanderbilt clips, and then I'm going to do a second video on some of his other game clips, just because he had 4 clips against Vanderbilt that I really enjoyed watching and breaking down, right? But regardless, so this is what I'm talking about from the last clip of always try to stay square for as long as possible, right? Whenever you're at practice or getting in some DB work yourself, always try and do drills to stay square for 5 yards. Obviously, that's impossible to stay square for 5 yards every rep during the game, but it's just going to allow you to build that muscle memory, right? Boom, let's play this full speed. You guys see what I'm talking about, right? You guys already should know what he did wrong here. Boom. He takes that pierce step with the left foot, right? Nothing wrong with it. We got to see how the receiver is going to give him that right. He's going to give him like a fake to the right, right? And that moves Jermod McCoy's body weight to the left. And now the gate is completely open within a yard, right? The gate is completely open. Now, he does a great job. You know, if the ball was thrown, I think this rep, he got saved by the D-line. I'm not going to lie, but this was like a 3rd and long. This was like 3rd and 11, and he only got about 3-4 yards. But regardless, say this was 3rd and 2, right? He's getting the first down with this. Boom, Pierce up with the left. And unfortunately, he does open the gate, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but just always try your best to stay square, or else stuff like this can happen. All right, y'all. So here we have 1st down and 10. And before we get into the rep, I have a slow motion version of it. Just want to point out our divider rules, right? Ball is in the middle of the field, and that means our divider is on top of the numbers, right? Remember, if the ball is on the opposite hash, that means our divider is 2 yards on top of the numbers. If the ball is on the near hash, that means our divider is at the bottom of the numbers, right? But let's back it up. The ball is in the middle of the field. That means our divider is on top of the numbers, right? So the receiver is on the bottom of the numbers. So take a second. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Where do you think the receiver is going to be going, inside or outside? Hopefully you said inside to yourself, right? With all this real estate to the inside, he's probably going to use it, right? So just keep that in mind. Jermod McCoy is inside leverage, but just keep that in mind to yourself of the divider rules and where you think the receiver is going to go, but never guess, right? Never guess. Boom, let's back this one up. I'm going to play it all the way through. Boom, you guys already see that kick slide. One thing I'm going to point out, so he does get a good inch in, right? Boom, kick slides beautifully, right? And it's always hard to kick slide while staying perfectly square, so I'm not going to hold this one too much against him, right? But he does have an amazing job of he does an amazing job always of not allowing his feet to cross in his kick slide. I'm going to show you guys right here once again. Kicks off that right foot and doesn't let his feet cross, right? Boom. His base is still strong and almost square, right? But he also has elite hip fluidity, which allows him to recover on stuff like this, right? But regardless, he's going to do an inch, kick slide, and receiver gives him a diamond release, right? Boom. Run all the way back, diamond release, inch kick, don't allow your feet cross over. Boom, he wants to go inside, he's going to go right back to you. And what I like about this rep, y'all, is boom, he's at the bottom, right? Boom, at this point it's boxed. Look at how the quarterback was eyeing that slant down the whole time. He wants to throw that slant, but Jermod McCoy single-handedly takes it away. Should have been a sack, but now he has to throw it out of bounds, right? So once again, inch to a kick. Don't let your feet cross over, and always try to stay square. But cornerback's a harder position for a reason. It's not always going to happen. But boom, collision him, and the route's done. All right, y'all. This will be the last clip for the Jermod McCoy versus Vanderbilt game. And this last rep is once again teach tape. So this play, I want to say it was either a QB design draw or he threw it to the other side, right? But regardless, we can always study cornerbacks reps no matter the play. That's what I love about defense, right? You can always study somebody's rep. So boom, for starters, he's going to peer step with that left foot, right? Y'all see that? Peer with the left, and the receiver is going to scream to the inside, right? But notice how the receiver stops on a dime. So what does that mean we got to do? We have to redirect kick. In order to redirect kick back this way, now the receiver is going to go outside, we have to stay square with our initial kick, right? So a redirect kick means when a receiver fakes one way to go the opposite way, right? Left, right, or right, left. In order to get a redirect kick in, we always have to stay square. Stay square-ish, right? It's always hard to stay square, but we always, always, always have to kick slide without our feet crossing over, right? That's the biggest thing I want you guys to leave with this video. Take away from this video is whenever you kick, try your best to stay square, but most importantly, do not let your feet cross over. That way you are able to turn your hips and guard the route, right? Boom, pierce up with the left. He's going to kick. Boom. Feet are not crossed over. He's in a position of power to collision him and win this route, right? He sort of looks, I think that right receiver, you guys see his glove, sort of gets on his face mask a little bit. That should have been called, but it was a QB design draw. But regardless, let's take it back. Peer, kick, Look at how his feet never cross. Even if he were to go straight, he's still in a position to guard that inside, right? This is just, this footwork can make me shed a tear, y'all, for real. I think I got it in full. Do I have it in full speed? I don't. That's me. My bad. But pier, kick, don't the feet cross over and collision, right? Just going to show one more time. Try y'all best, man, to try and stay square, but always try your hardest to not allow your feet to cross with your kick slide. Because if his left foot crosses his right foot right now, there's no way he's going to be able to do a redirect kick. Worst comes to worst, he's going to have to do a speed churn and try to locate his man, but that could get tricky, right? But regardless, y'all, hopefully y'all learned something from this video today. I'm going to get a second video out on Jermod McCoy, hopefully by Monday or Tuesday. And with that, hopefully you guys have a great weekend, though.